want to thank you all, the distinguished guests, especially the President, the Vice President of the Republic, our regulators, participants, and other stakeholders gathered here. We have a unique opportunity to continue engaging on new dynamic ways to create the enabling environment for the economy to grow, for businesses and organizations to thrive, and for the welfare of our clients and customers to blossom. From the foregoing, I hereby accept to chair the event today, and extremely happy to declare this morning's assembly duly constituted. I thank the Chartered Institute of Bankers once again for this opportunity and look forward to a great conference. Thank you. I will at this point use the opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker for today, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, FCIB, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and Head of the Ghana Economic Management Team. His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, FCIB, is an economist and a chartered banker. From 1988 to 1990, Dr. Bawumia worked as a lecturer on monetary economics and international finance at the Emil Wolff College of Accountancy in London, England. He also served as an economist at the research department of the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C., USA. From 1996 to 2000, he served as an assistant professor of economics at Hankeman School of Business, Baylor University, Texas University, where he also received the Young Researcher Award in 1998. He returned to Ghana in 2000 to work as an economist at the Bank of Ghana. He rose from senior economist to head of department and subsequently as special assistant to the governor of the bank. In June 2006, President J.A. Kufuor appointed him as a deputy governor of the bank. Dr. Bawumia served as a consultant to the Economic Commission of Africa from February to March in 2009. From April to October 2009, he was a visiting scholar at the University of British Columbia, Liu Center for Global Studies and UBC 22nd National Banking Conference Fisheries Center. In October 2009, he was appointed as a fellow of the International Growth Center, IGC, a research institute based jointly at the London School of Economics and Political Science and Oxford University that provides advice on economic growth to governments of developing countries, specifically serving as an IGC team member for Sierra Leone. He also served as an advisor to the Central Bank of Sierra Leone on the redesigning of the organizational structure of the bank and its monetary policy framework. In June 2010, he was appointed resident representative to serve of the African Development Bank for Zimbabwe by the Africa Development Bank. He served in this position until reappointed as the vice presidential candidate to Nana Akufo-Addo on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party for the 2012 presidential election. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, FCIB, to give us the keynote address.
Please, thank you very much. Chairperson John Ewa, who is also the President of the Ghana Association of Bankers, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, First Deputy Governor, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari, and Second Deputy Governor, Mrs. Elsie Ado-Awaji, Right Reverend Patricia Sapo, President of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Managing Directors of Banks, the Governing Council, CEO Fellows, Associates, and members of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, CEOs of other professional bodies, representatives from academia, fellow bankers, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I thank the Chartered Institute of Bankers for extending this kind invitation to me. I commend the Institute and all stakeholders for organizing the 25th Annual Banking Conference. There have been significant achievements over the years as stakeholders have met at these annual conferences to deliberate on pertinent issues in banking. One of such achievements is the passage of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Act 2019, Act 991, reinforcing the Institute's mandate to regulate the practice of the banking profession. The launch of the Ghana Banking Code of Ethics and Business Conduct is an outcome of the collaboration between the Chartered Institute of Bankers, the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Association of Bankers, and other stakeholders. This code is promoting best practices in banking. It is apt to say kudos to the Governing Council, the President, Reverend Mrs. Patricia Sapo, the CEO, Mr. Charles Ofori-Akwa, and the entire Chartered Institute of Bankers for the good work. As we continue this work today, I am honored to deliver the keynote address on the theme, the digital economy of Ghana, the strategic role of the banking industry. Ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly, this topic is timely as government seeks to reposition the economy post-COVID-19 and to galvanize efforts to stimulate recovery and sustain growth. The theme underscores the crucial role that Ghana's banking industry plays in aiding government's transformative digital agenda and how the banking sector is leveraging on digitization and financial inclusion in these times to ensure business continuity and economic growth. Ghana's transformative digital agenda started ahead of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2018, under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, government launched the Ghana Digital Agenda in a bid to digitize all sectors of the Ghanaian economy. I'm happy to mention that we have made significant progress with the major deliverable of a soft, interconnected digital infrastructure that will improve delivery of the Bank of Ghana, mobile network operators, fintechs, private sector, and other stakeholders. Today, financial inclusion through mobile money is no longer a dream. We are living it. We are steadily bridging the gap between the formal and informal sectors of the economy with over 19 million active mobile money users. Since its launch in 2018, the mobile money interoperability system has recorded exponential growth. The central bank estimates that between 2019 and 2020, it recorded 365% growth in volume and 651% growth in value. And we will see more, and we look forward to the launch of the bank-wide mobile wallet to reinforce this. Now more than ever, it has become increasingly urgent to bridge the digital divide as we look to build a more resilient economy. I am happy to say that the government is committed to championing this cause and remains at the forefront of implementing these initiatives. The evolution of Ghana's banking industry has been phenomenal, with the journey to digital financial sector beginning more than 2 decades ago. Most significant was the installation of the first automated teller machine ATM by the then Trust Bank of Ghana. Other financial institutions followed suit with the introduction of ATMs and financial technologies to enhance service delivery. As digital banking grew in popularity, banks continued to invest in technology and infrastructure to augment their efforts in improving service delivery, streamlining operations, diversifying their offerings, as well as gaining competitive edges. One of the poignant lessons the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us is that digitization is the future. To achieve this, fostering a digital economy is not just a priority for government, but a shared responsibility for all stakeholders, including active participation by the public and private sector, with immense support of the banking sector. Let me use this opportunity to acknowledge the central bank's efforts in deploying comprehensive reforms and interventions, especially during these unprecedented times, by providing the financial sector with various regulatory reliefs that allowed banks to provide financial support to critical sectors of the economy as part of the COVID-19 policy response. I also acknowledge the Ministry of Finance for launching various policy initiatives such as the National Financial Inclusion and Development Strategy, the Digital Financial Services Policy, and the Cashlight Roadmap, among others, as a way to deepen financial inclusion and accelerate the shift to digital payments. Such policies, among other strides, continue to project Ghana as the nexus of digital payments. As we look to accelerate digitalization on all fronts, leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Area is a step in the right direction. The International Monetary Fund forecasts that aggregate output for developing economies, except China, will remain below pre-pandemic forecasts until 2024. Given global supply chain constraints and other challenges that the COVID-19 pandemic has come along with, there is heightened need for regional integration. Taking full advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area will revitalize intra-Africa trade and boost Africa's trading position in the global market. The government of Ghana shares the belief that the transformation agenda of the African economy is achievable through the use of digital banking as an enabler for trade facilitation in the region. Countries under the Free Trade Agreement in Africa must embrace all the opportunities brought by digitalization. This will alleviate the poverty levels within the region. Banks will benefit from a larger market share. Cross-border trade and financing arrangements under the African Free Trade Area can increase the profitability of banks and expand their assets base. To this end, member states under the Free Trade Area are working as partners to develop a comprehensive integration financial framework which would assist banks meet the objectives of facilitating cross-border transactions. An efficient payment system is important, and a settlement system. Ghana's progress in the payment and settlement system have been spurred by the central bank's efforts to deploy relevant domestic policies to support a well-organized payment system. Ghana has made significant strides in this regard through the launch of the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System, GIPS, the Real-Time Gross Settlement System, Check, Code Line, clearing system, national biometric e-switch, and the national switching and processing system, GH-Link. The launch of Ghana's universal QR code and hopefully the introduction of the central bank digital currency, the ECD, will go a long way to push the cash light agenda. With the introduction of the ECD in the offing, commercial banks should be proactive in developing digital assets and products for different categories of customers. Banks should also leverage on the digitalization agenda of the government to improve credit to the private sector. As banks continue to invest in digital platforms to facilitate and ease in trade and transactions, adopting a more fintech approach will spur innovation for the benefit of their cherished clients. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore all stakeholders to explore possible synergies and partnerships in advancing digital technological innovation in a bid to redefine the banking sector, which will ultimately spur economic growth. I wish to reaffirm government's efforts in spearheading the national digitalization drive through robust policy-making initiatives and a conducive environment. In conclusion, I urge the Chartered Institute of Bankers to lead the charge in capacity building for an innovation-driven banking industry. I wish you fruitful deliberations. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, for such a fantastic delivery, straight to the point, and I'm sure the audience will agree with me that you set the right tone for today's conference, and particularly for the sessions that will follow after these preliminary discussions. You have talked about the importance of the interoperability as was launched and how that has contributed to bringing in a whole lot more people into the financial inclusion agenda, and the fact that it is leading in that government policy to bring in the informal sector to the financial system of the country. In that regard, you also refreshed us about some of the initiatives that have been rolled out since 2017-2018. You talked about the rollout of the Ghana card and the importance that brings to the financial system, the digital address system, the Ghana.gov that seeks to improve and bring some efficiency in the government's revenue mobilization drive, and other automations in public sector institutions. You refreshed the audience on the astronomical growth that we've recorded since the launch of the interoperability, actually between 2019 and 2020, increasing by in excess of 360% and 651% in value and in volume, respectively. You've also reiterated what has been repeated at various workshops about what COVID has actually taught us regarding the important role that digitalization will play into the future of economies. And you've acknowledged the support that BOG has given the economy during the pendency of the COVID, particularly the measures that